Yeah, so today we're going to be covering Google Docs, which is really great. So everybody's familiar with things like Microsoft Word or Microsoft PowerPoint, even Microsoft Excel. But one of the drawbacks of those programs is, and they're great programs, but one of the drawbacks is that you have to pay for them. You have to pay for that software, and it's about $100 a month or a year, rather. I'm sorry, about $100 a year or so, depending on how you purchase it and when you purchase it and so forth. But with Google Docs, if you already have a Gmail account or a Google account or a YouTube account, they're all kind of really the same because they're all owned by the company Google or ABC, as they sometimes call themselves, which is the parent company for Google. And so what they have done, Google, is they have gone and incorporated a word processing application into your Google account. So again, if you have a Gmail account, you already have a Google account and you have options to use things like Google Docs to write letters and save them and share them with people or collaborate with other folks on them. You also have the option to use Google Sheets, which is very much like a Microsoft Excel, and you can use that to calculate numbers and do percentages and make graphs and charts and data visualization and so forth. And then you also have an option to use Google Slides. And Google Slides is very much like Microsoft PowerPoint. It's very useful for creating slides and presenting information in maybe an educational setting or a business setting where you want to present ideas with pictures and information on the slides. And so that's what we're going to be looking at today. I think you're really going to enjoy this. It's a really, really powerful tool that a lot of folks do not know about. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen right here, and then we will get into it. All right, you guys should see my screen now. I'm just gonna bring this over. Yep, perfect. So I have now logged into my Google account. So of course, to log in, you would just either go to gmail.com if you have a Gmail, and you can just log in, or you can go to google.com and log in. So let me actually, I don't know if I'm gonna remember my password, so I'm a little hesitant to log out. I'm not gonna log out. I'll just go ahead and let everybody see though that I'm in my Gmail account for our business. Our business is called summitsupportwa.com. So you can see here that it shows me that I'm logged in as Eric Hunter, and the email address for this account is info@summitsupportwa.com. And it's all really just Gmail in the background, though. It's just a Gmail account, but we were able to put our business name on it for our email address. And so you can see that I'm logged in here. It shows when I see that E up there, I know that I'm logged in. I can obviously see my emails. And this is the part of Gmail or Google that everyone is very familiar with. But there's also a lot of extra things in here. And so if you come up here to these 9 dots up here, and you click that, it's going to open up a suite of other applications that are also available under your Google account. So, of course, we know about Gmail. That's the one that everybody knows about, Google Mail. There's also Google Drive. That is like called, that's the cloud. So essentially, your Gmail account is information that's on the cloud, right? Because you can access it from anywhere. It doesn't really live on a physical laptop or a phone. Gmail is something you can log into, and you can always access your emails because your emails are on the cloud. And what is the cloud? Just really briefly, the cloud is just there's a large farms and farms of databases and large computers that are connected to high-speed internet connections to the internet, and they're located all over the world, and they hold just tons and tons and tons of data on these really huge supercomputers. And so when you're saving things, it's saving to those one of those computers somewhere, usually actually on multiple of those computers, so that if there's ever like a natural disaster or something like that, all of your information would be saved and retrievable. And so the cloud allows you to access your information from anywhere, again, because your information is not saved onto a physical computer, it's saved onto the cloud. And so it's really secure. And it's also very accessible because anytime you can just go to google.com, you could go to the library right now, you could go to google.com, and you would be able to access your emails and everything in your Google account for that way. So when I click again up here, the 9 dots, you see all the different apps. We already know about Gmail. I just talked to you about Google Drive, which is where you can save documents and so forth to your Google account. Google Docs, this is where we're going to be working at today here in Google Docs. We've also got Google Sheets, which is much like Microsoft Excel. Again, Google Docs kind of replaces Microsoft Word. And again, all of this is free. This is all included in your Gmail account, no subscriptions or anything. Slides, this is Google Slides where you can make slides and presentation shows. Google Calendar, Google Chat, Google Meet, where you can meet up with other people that have Google accounts. And there's lots of other applications in here. YouTube is actually owned by Google. You have Google Translate. So just a ton of different applications that are available. But today we're primarily going to be focused on docs and sheets. I might even touch on slides if we have enough time. But the main thing I want to reiterate is that this is all free if you already have a Google account. And of course, your Google account is free. So if you don't have one, I'd encourage you to get a Google account. It comes with a free Gmail account, so you get a free email. And then you also have now access to these. And you should be able to also access these if you're accessing your Google account on a phone. You probably will have to download an app for Google Docs, Google Sheets, and Google Slides, and you will be able to log in using your Google account email. And so let's just click on Docs right here, and it's going to open up a brand new tab. Notice that it opened this tab up here. So I've got I've got this tab, which is my Gmail, but it opened up a second tab when I clicked on Google Docs. And now you see we have a brand new fresh tab here, and we have an option to do a blank document, or we can pick up multiple kind of templated documents that are already in here. So I am going to actually look in the template gallery, and let's see under general, let's see if there's let's see if there is a resume. There's a request for proposal, job offer letter, independent contractor agreement. So let's just do this one. We'll do independent contractor agreement. Let's see if that one drops in here. There we go. And just can close that out. And so you have an independent contractor agreement, and it just, talks about, some different things here. And we've all seen different agreements, right? Where, you sign at the bottom. Let's see, this one's already got the signature placeholders, the company, the dates and so forth. So this document's already kind of ready to go. You just have to fill in some of the blank spots here. But the main thing I want to show you, though, is just how it looks and feels a lot like Microsoft Word. And if you have not had any training on Microsoft Word, I'd encourage you to go to Mission Africa YouTube site. So if you go to youtube.com, I'll just show you here really quick where you can find our trainings, and you go to Mission Africa and click this one right here. And these are all of our trainings. So you'll see here, we have a lot of different trainings. And just go back until you find our trainings here, like you see Microsoft Word. And so we have 2 of those on here. And so feel free to go back if you want to learn how to work in Microsoft Word. We have lots of recorded trainings there. And so it feels very much like Microsoft Word, though. Up here, you can change the name of the file. So I'm just going to select here, and I'm just left clicking, and I'm just going across, and I'm just selecting, and I'm going to say, let's call this, let's see, I'm going to click in here. I'm going to delete all that, and I'm going to call this independent contractor agreement number 1. Okay, hit enter. Do you notice when I hit enter, you see this little cloud here? That tells you that this document is saved to the cloud. And when I say saved to the cloud, it's saved under your Google account. So if I come in here, so keep an eye right here where this cloud is, and watch. When I start editing the document, notice it says saving. It takes a second, and then it says saved to drive. So this document is, as I'm editing the document, is continuously saving the document. So I just backspaced and I got rid of some things. And here now it says saved to drive. And so you can feel very comfortable knowing that as you're editing this document, it is saving it live. So, there's not multiple versions of things. You don't have to remember to hit the save button and like, oh no, I didn't save it. What happened to my document? Because I don't know about you guys. I know that I have worked on documents before and I forget to hit the save button after maybe 20, 30 minutes, and then something happens and I lose all of my work. And it's extremely frustrating. And so Google has solved that by making all of the docs that you work on auto save as you are working on them. But if you ever messed up, you can always, of course, come back here to the undo button. You can hit undo and it puts back the thing that you deleted. So I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of that. But I do want to orient you really quick to the page. So here you do have go back, you have redo, you can print from here. Spelling and grammar check, you can just click that and it'll do some spelling and grammar checks for you. This is a format painter. I won't go into that today, but it's used to let's say you wanted to format other stuff to this format. I could just click here. Sorry, let's click here, hit format painter, and then select the text that I want to look like that. And it'll make it look similar, right? So see how it made it look like the same font and so forth, and it made it bold. So that's what format painter is. Of course, zoom, so we can zoom in and out, 50%, 100%. Let's go 125. And we can even go a little further. We got a lot of space over here, 150. So we can zoom in right here. Text styles. So if you want to make this text a different type of style, right now it's normal, but if you make it title, you can say apply title and look, it just changed all of that very quickly. So I'm just going back out of that. So that's just a quick way to format text depending on, is it a title, is it a subtitle, a heading, whatever you want to do there. Let's see, you have all of your different fonts right here. So if you want to change the font on something, you would just select, then go here and you can change the font on it right there. Notice that it changed the font there on the word written. This is your font size. So again, if you hold and just select a word or and let's say you select an entire paragraph and you just hit increase, it will increase the font size right here. We can also make it bold, italics, and underlined. Okay. What is this one? Text color. And again, if you've done Microsoft Word, a lot of this should look very familiar. So we can select the text color here. Let's make this one red. Okay, so now we have red text, underline, italics, bold, and let's select it again. And let's make it go back down to size 12 here. Notice again that it's saved as I was editing. This is your highlighter. So if you wanted to highlight the text, you could just select again the words that you want highlighted, come here and hit highlight. Okay. You can insert hyperlinks here. What is a hyperlink? Hyperlink is just if you reference, let's say, the website CNN.com because you want somebody to go there. You can always highlight this word, and let's say you wanted to hyperlink it. You could come here to insert hyperlink, and then you could paste in the hyperlink right here, CNN.com, and hit apply. Notice that it turns blue. So that indicates to the user that's reading it that this is probably a hyperlink and it's going to take them to an internet site. And so that's how you would add a hyperlink. So notice when I clicked on it, it brought up the hyperlink here for CNN.com. If I click that, it opens up a completely new tab and I'm on that website now. So it makes it easier instead of telling people, hey, if you want to get more information on this, go to this other website. You don't really need to tell them to go to another website. You can just put hyperlinks into your documents and then they will be able to just literally come here, click, and then it'll go take them straight to that document. There's some other things here. Of course, you can add an image. You can align your text here. So that means like having it left aligned. So this is left aligned. You can center it, which puts it in the middle, right? You can right align, which moves it over to the right. And then I'm just going to put it back to left because that's normally what we want to do. You can add a checklist. You can add bulleted list or numbered list and so forth. So these are all the options under this menu. And so you also have a lot of different options up here in these areas. So you have an insert menu where you can insert emojis or drawings or tables. You can insert all kinds of fun stuff. You can also do some formatting here, or you can use some other tools to do some different things, extensions and so forth. And so let's say that you prepare a document here. We always want to check right here to make sure that it is saved. And we can see that this document, its status is saved because we have the cloud with a little check mark in there. We already named it. See, we named it here, Independent Contractor Agreement 1. So let's say you were done working on this document. What are the couple options that you might want to use? You may want to print, right? So how do you print? You can just come to this icon right here. This is the ribbon. This area where all the different options are is the ribbon. You could come here and click on print, and you could save it as a PDF right here. So you could hit save. And again, you can see that it's saving it as an Adobe Acrobat document. And that is that just means that the document won't be able to be edited. So let's say I save this to my desktop. And again, it has the name here, Independent Contractor Agreement 1, Google Docs. I'm just going to save it to my desktop, and let's go find it and see what it looks like. So it's right here, Independent Contractor Agreement, Google Docs. So if I double click that item, you can see that I've got a nice looking professional document. I could email this to someone, really nice, clean document in a PDF again. So it's not in anything that someone could go and they could change it up later. So I'm going to go ahead and click out of that and go back. So that's the one option when printing. You can always print to a PDF. So it's just going to print that document electronically. And then, of course, you could also actually select a real printer if you were connected, your computer or your phone was connected to an actual printer in your house or at a business location or a library, wherever you may be. And then you would, of course, just be able to hit print right here, and it would print that document straight from Google Docs. Okay. So to save this document, again, it's already saved. So you notice normally in Microsoft Word, you would come to File and you would find somewhere to hit Save, and then you would maybe X out. But in this case, there's nowhere to actually save the document. So what you do is you actually just hit Docs Home right here. So you can just hit the blue button here in the left corner, and the document saved. So here now, if you notice earlier, we didn't have any documents down here under Recent Documents. Now we do, because we just created that one document. And so if I was to create another document and work on it, it would save it right back down here also under Recent Documents. And so again, to reopen it, you just click one time and it reopens the document, and you can continue to edit that document. Okay. And so that is Google Docs, guys. Really easy to use. And one of the fun things about it is you can also collaborate using this tool. So let's say you wanted to collaborate with someone on this particular document, you wanted to get their feedback, or you even wanted them to potentially look over the document, make some edits, and then send it back to you. Well, using all the Google apps, you don't have to do that anymore. So you can actually come up, you see this share button here, right up next to where you see the E. Again, this E is telling me that I'm signed in. But right here, this share button, so it shows right now, see, it says private to only me. So this document is not able to be viewed by anyone else. But if I hit share, and then it gives me some options here. So it says you can share the name of the document, and it says add people. So I'm going to just add my personal email here. Okay. So I add my personal email, and then what type of editor do I want myself, my personal email to do in this case? So I can share this document with my personal email. My personal email can view it, comment, or do I want my personal email to be able to fully edit the document? So I'm going to leave it as edit. Notice you can add an expiration date. So if you only want somebody to have access to the document for one day, you can totally do that. So I'm just going to say editor, and I'm going to add an expiration date. Access expires on May 27th. I'm going to change that, and I'm going to make access last until today. Let's see. I'm going to do it until tomorrow, 28th. Okay. And then it says notify people. Yes. And I'm going to leave myself a message. Hi, Eric. Can you please review this document and add any additions? Okay. So what am I doing here again, just as a refresher? So we are sharing this document, and this is the name of it, Independent Contractor Agreement 1. we're sharing this from my business account, and I'm sharing it to my personal account right now. So you could do this with anybody else that has a Google account, okay? So you make your document under your account, and then you can share it with anybody else on a Gmail, make them the proper authority. Maybe you just want them to look at it or comment, or again, fully edit. And then once you have everything ready to go here and it looks good, hit send. And it's going to send, okay, so it's telling me that this is external to this is my company name here, who owns the item. This organization encourages caution when sharing externally. I'm gonna hit share anyway. And now it says access updated. And if I come back over here to share now, it says shared with one person. Again, I can click it and now I can see people with access to this document. Eric Hunter, which is me, and this is my business account, again, info@summitsupportwa.com. And you can also see here, I've given myself my personal email access to this document. So I'm gonna go and open up my personal Gmail account. And what do we have here? We have a document. It says document shared with you called Independent Contractor Agreement 1. And I can just come right down here and I can hit open. And now I can, and again, I'm in here as my personal account. So again, you can see now that this is my personal account and I can make edits to this document. I'm gonna just get rid of this whole instruction part. Actually, I'm just gonna, let's see. I'm going to make all of that a different color. I want to make that all pink. Okay. And then I'm going to, again, save it by just, and again, verify it's saved. I'm going to hit backwards. Now, under my personal account, and again, I'm under my personal account, I can sort here to see documents owned by anyone, documents owned by me, or not owned by me. So I'm going to go not owned by me. You can see that there's been several documents that have been shared with me, namely this one that I just worked on here at 625. So I'm going to go ahead and close out my personal account. I've made an edit. I just changed it to pink. And then we're going to go back to my Summit email. So back to my Summit Google. I'm going to click here, go to Google Docs. I'm going to open up the document that I allowed my personal account to edit, and notice here that it did change everything to pink. So this is an excellent collaboration tool. Again, you don't have to save documents and save different, edits and send it back to me and all these different things. You can just work on one document. You can share it. You can collaborate. It is fantastic. So I highly encourage you to get in here and play around with this and use this. Again, it's free and there's nothing like free, right? So definitely enjoy that. All right, so I am going to now back out of this document. And again, you see that I still have one document. If I go to owned by me, and again, I'm in my business account here. And you can see that I only have one document. And it's just the one that I just created. So now I'm going to come up here and I'm going to do Google Sheets. Let's do Google Sheets. Are there any questions, by the way? I'll take a pause here for a second. Any questions on what I just demonstrated on Google Docs? Has anybody on the call ever used Google Docs? Or is this your guys' first time seeing it?
I think I use it. I use it a lot.
That's good. That's good. No, it's really convenient. My favorite part, again, is that you can always access it because it's on the cloud. So if you have a digital device that doesn't have your Gmail account, you can always log into it and then you'll be able to access your documents. And so now let's just move over to Google Sheets. So I just clicked on Google Sheets here and I'm going to, let's say I need to send up an invoice. Let's say you have a business and you need to invoice somebody, you did some work for them and you need to invoice them. So I'm going to hit got it. So this is your company name. Let's call your company name thecompany.com. That's your company, and you are located at 123 Main Street in Federal Way, Oregon, or Federal Way, Washington. That's your phone number, your invoice, submitted date. So let's say you did an invoice. What's today? 4/27. 4/27. Again, this is just easy stuff. I really love that they have all these formats already done for you. So, they already know a lot of the things that people use these templates for. And so they're leaving things there for you to use. You don't have to come up with it on your own. And so you can fill out all of this information. You have your items. Let's make sure that let's up our price a little bit. Let's do 10,000. Let's make this one 2,600. Oh, that's 260,000. Oh, we'll stay with that too. Why not? So you got an invoice here for $529,900. And this is Excel. And did you notice that it calculated all those numbers for me? I'm sorry, I said Excel. This is Google Sheets. And so notice that as I added this number here, let's say I change this number here. Notice that it does all the math for me, right? It changed this one because we have quantity 2 times that equals that. And it added up this number plus that number to get 530,222. So that's the one fun thing that we do like about Google Sheets and or Microsoft Excel is it can do math forming. Again, not going to really teach Google Sheets here. A lot of these are very similar to what we just saw in Google Docs. A lot of the options here at the top and or Microsoft Excel. This is, of course, the function. So this is where you can do things like add up numbers, get the average of a number, or count a max or a min. And so again, down here in Google Sheets, you can also have multiple sheets. So you can always come down here and let's say you wanted to add a new sheet. You could add one here and call your budget. And you could have January, February. Well, actually we would say, let's say line item. January, February, March, April, and let's say you had line items of like, mortgage, car expense, food, internet, phone, school, gas. Okay, and then you would just enter your numbers. Let's say your mortgage was $2,000 a month. Car expense, $560 a month. Food, this is a big one in our house. Just gonna add some different numbers here. Internet, $50 a month ish. Oh, 50, call it 65 there. Phone, that one's typically pretty consistent. We'll call that one like 120. School, let's say you were in school, maybe that's 400 a month. And then gas for your vehicle, 168. Let's do 1 month you drove a lot, 425, 255, and then we'll do 354. So let's say you wanted to get the total for each month. You could just simply, so again, for January, if you wanted to total up all of your expenses, you could just come right here to this cell below and hit the E, that's for sum. Select the area that you want it to sum and hit enter. 4,298. By the way, let's go ahead and format everything as a currency. That's going to be important. Make it all currency. So we can see our total expenses here is 4,000 and some change. And so now because we did the formula here already in this sheet, we can just grab this little button here in the bottom right. I'm going to click it and hold it and then drag over to the right. And it's going to do the same calculation for February, the same calculation for March, and the same calculation for April. Let's say I wanted to then over here, I wanted to get the average mortgage. I wanted to get the average of my car expense, the average of my food expense, the average of my internet. So over here, let's do again the function button, but this time we're going to do average. And again, I'm going to select the cells. I want the average mortgage for the 4 months. Just hit down. And again, it already knows that I want to do the same thing. So I'm just going to hit yes. and it's going to autofill. So now I can see that my average that I spent on food over that 4-month period was $965.75. My average internet was $55.25. And this was my average total expenses. So if I was going out and I needed to figure out, I'm going to just fill this here really quick. If I was going out to get a job and they were saying, hey, you want to make $6,000 a month, I know that on average, I'm going to be able to cover my bills because my average bills is $4,401, at least over these 4 months that we looked at, right? And so a really nice tool, I'm just, don't like that color. Let's go with that. Really nice tool and really easy to, again, work through. And again, I do have 2 sheets on this particular one. I have this sheet that I'm working on, and I have my invoice. So again, this was my invoice, and I just created another sheet here, and this is the other one. Let's see about renaming this one. Let's go to rename. So I just clicked the down arrow right to the right of sheet 2, and you hit rename. We're going to call this one budget and hit enter. So now you have a sheet for budget. You also have a sheet for invoice. And this is really nice and clean. So again, if you wanted to ensure it's saved, just again, look up here. Let's hit the green button here, and we should now see it drop down into here as a saved document. And yep, there it is right there. This one looks a little bit different because I have it listed in a grid view. If we wanted to see it like we did the last one, you can just click this button here, because this is just different views on how to see your previous documents. And here we are, so I can just click it again. And again, we've got the document here. We've got our budget. And again, I won't do it this time, but to share, you could always come over here to share, add in folks, add a message, how much access do you want them to have? And then you can send that off, and they can continue to edit that document and collaborate with you on that document. So let's say you were putting together a budget for a business, and there were multiple people that needed to work on it at the same time. This would be an excellent tool where everyone could collaborate here in Google Sheets to do that. And it's very nice and it's very simple. So I'm just going to cancel that out. And so again, back out, and we'll see that we have our document here. So the last thing I'll demonstrate is Google Slides. So again, I'm going to go to Google Apps. And again, if you have a Gmail, I know we just had some folks join us. So if you already have a Gmail account, you do have access to these free Word and Microsoft kind of processing tools. So we have Docs. This is the equivalent of Microsoft Word. Sheets, this is the equivalent of Microsoft Excel. And then Slides, this is the equivalent of PowerPoint. But again, these are all free, and these are all included in your Google account or Gmail account, if that's what you're normally referencing it as. But again, if you have a Gmail account, you can go to the App Store, get Docs, Sheets, and Slides, log in using your Gmail account, which is also your Google account, and you should be able to access all of these tools for free, which is really, really nice. So let's go to Slides now. So I have Google Docs open. I've got Sheets and Slides. Let's say I wanted to make a consulting proposal. I would just click this one, and it's going to load that proposal for me. And again, what does this look like? PowerPoint, right? It's some slides. You know, you got lots of great information on there. So you've got some really nice slides. And again, I'm not going to teach necessarily how to create slides today. This is very similar to PowerPoint. And if you wanted to do a slideshow, you just click here. It goes into presentation mode, and you have some really nice slides here. And you guys should be seeing like a full page version of the slides right now. And so that's what's really nice about Google Slides is, again, just like PowerPoint, you can do a really nice presentation for education purposes or business purposes, whatever you feel you need to do. And again, once you have your slides here, you can again use all the buttons up here just like you would in the Microsoft programs. You have the option to again save. You can change the name of the slides here. So I'm going to call it proposal 3. Hit save. And again, you can also share these slides here. If you just
So,
add in
quick
names.
question.
Go ahead.
Oh, so so if you're saving it, you just hit the slash sheet, right?
All you have to do is hit this over here. So
Yeah.
it's automatically saving, right? Because remember,
Oh, okay.
like, so
Yeah.
remember, if you keep an eye right here, as I change
Yeah, I got
things,
it.
it goes saving and then it's saved,
Oh, okay.
right?
Almost like the Google dot. Okay.
And again, so as you're editing these documents in your Google account, they are automatically saving into your Google account. You don't have to hit the save button or anything. It's always automatically saving. As long as you see that up there, that means you're connected to the internet and it's saving your document. And
Oh,
you can always just click here, slide home, and you'll see it down here as a recent presentation under your account. So if you wanted to make a new one, you could always come up here, select from the template gallery, and there's just like a ton of different ones under general. Lots of different options right there. Or you can just come to recent presentations here and just click, and it'll reopen up your document. Okay, and then you can do all the editing that you want to do. You can, come here and you can change the size. You can change bold, underline, italics. You can change some colors here. Whatever you want to do to it, right? It's your proposal.
so if you want to delete it, or you can delete it the same way you can like PowerPoint, like you told her how to do it in PowerPoint, you can do it the same way to delete it.
To delete the entire PowerPoint?
No, I mean the this slide, like the way it looks
Oh
right now.
yeah,
So you
yeah.
can do it the
You can
same way
just
like you did in the PowerPoint, right?
So come over here to this area. So let's say I wanted to get rid of this green slide. I didn't like it anymore. I can right click on that slide and we have a bunch of options here. We can skip this slide. You can make a new slide or you can delete it. So I'm just going to hit delete and it's gone.
Okay, thank you.
Now, if you decide you want that slide back, you can always come back up here to
Just
undo
go back, undo.
and go
Okay,
back.
thank you.
You're welcome. And so just like PowerPoint, it's exactly the same thing, but the only difference again is this is free and this is also on the cloud. So you don't have to have access to your computer. If you're, out and about on your phone and you have access to your Gmail on your phone, then you will also have access to these. You just have to download the apps onto your phone. As you see here, the apps look like Docs, Sheets, and Slides. And any documents that, again, are in your account here will also be available on your mobile device once you download these different apps right here.
Ooh.
Any questions on Google Docs, Google Sheets, or Google Slides?
I mean, it's similar to the PowerPoint though.
Can you say that again? I'm sorry.
I said similar to PowerPoint. Only different, like
It's
yeah,
exactly like PowerPoint. It's the
it's
same
safe,
thing.
it's safe and stuff like that.
It is. It's the same exact thing. And I think they were intentional about that. They wanted people to feel comfortable with the interface. So they made it feel kind of the same. So again, if I just hit back here, now, of course, you can see my proposal down here. And I just have one tab open for each. I have a Google slide. So I'm going to shut those all down. And I'm just back in my Gmail account. So again, just as a refresher, you could always come up here to Google Apps. And
So
this is where
another
you
thing
have
again,
Docs, Sheets, and Slides.
another question. If you want to add an app, you just go to the plus sign. I mean the plus sign right here, right? You hit the plus sign, right?
Right here, where you see the 9 dots.
Uh-huh.
If you click that, and then it'll give you a drop down menu, and it has a lot of different apps in there. So
Yeah.
you just click the one that you want to access.
Because today I went to the how to call it, Worksource, and then I think they wanted to add something. I think they just went up there, they hit the plus sign, and then went straight to my Google Dot and stuff like that. We're on the email. I mean, we're on the applying for jobs, something like that. So
Okay.
he just went up and then he hit a plus sign, and then we went directed to that place, and then he just tap it, and then went directly to my email and stuff like that, the Google email. I'm like, oh, yeah.
Okay. Okay. I don't see that option here. I think most of us are,
It's up here where you see the yellow, the orange. stuff.
This?
No, on the other side, up, all the way up is a long line. Up here, you got a green. Yeah, okay, right there. Yeah, yeah, there where he went, and then I think he tapped us, and then
He
we just went.
probably typed in Google Docs, but
Yeah,
again,
yeah.
if you're already in your Gmail account, you just have to click this and then click Docs, and it
Okay,
opens it up. It opens it up for you, so you don't have to remember a website or anything like that.
okay,
You can
okay.
literally
Thank
just
you.
click here and then click the thing that you want, and it'll open up a new tab for you, and you'll already be, and then you can just find whatever document that you want.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're doing different stuff. So
Yeah, definitely.
yeah,
Yeah. And that's the thing with software, right? There's always, they give you multiple options on how to access it, but the point is just figure out one way to do it, whatever is
okay,
most comfortable for you.
okay. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
you're welcome. You're welcome. Okay. Any questions? Any other questions? Thank you for your question. No?
I say I'm not the only person on Zoom.
No, there's a couple other folks here.
Oh,
Everybody's
I
just being
see.
quiet today.
I see.
Which is common online. It's common, which is why these classes go a little bit quicker, but I'm also able to teach a little bit more. This training will be available by tomorrow. This training will become available to you guys, and I'll post it up onto Mission Africa's YouTube page. So again, just a reminder on how to access this training. You could just go to YouTube and you can find Mission Africa just by typing in Mission Africa in YouTube. And you want to look for this orange one here. That's our organization. And then all the trainings look just like this. So you'll see like a intro slide that tells you what the training is about. And you will see that we have lots of trainings that we have uploaded to the YouTube page. So feel free to go there and review today's lesson. Probably it'll be up by this time tomorrow. It should be up for you guys to review. And again, today we did cover how to work in Google Docs, Google Sheets, and Google Slides. And we also talked about how to share those documents and how to collaborate using those different applications. And again, if you haven't used it, I would highly encourage you to go practice and using that. And I think that you'll like it. I think that you'll like it. Okay. Any other questions before we close out for the evening?
So
I
the
know it's really
practice
nice
part
out.
again, you have to go on Google to log in the practice
Yes.
site.
Yes. So you can go to Gmail or google.com, log in. You'll know you're logged in once you see your initials in the top right corner. So here you can see it's telling me that I'm logged in because I obviously have an option to log out. So you have to be logged in first. And then once you're logged in, you should see these 3 dots in the top right, or the 9 dots in the top right. And that's where you'll be able to access docs, sheets, and slides.
No, I'm talking about the practice side. Like I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about like when you want to, for example, take a quiz. I mean, take how do you call it, sir?
No, I know what you mean. So for that, you would want to go, let me open up a different thing here. So for that, you would want to go to digitalliteracyassessment.org. And I can put that in the chat.
I've been trying to go, but it's that I've been facing difficulty.
And so then you would just hit login. You would use your login credentials that you have set up.
Yeah, I got that. Okay.
And then yes, and there's even lessons in here also on Google Docs. So right here you see docs, and so you can take lessons, or you can take the assessment right here.
Okay, I will try it today.
Yeah, give it a shot. Give it a shot. I think you got it down now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And Margaret, I'm glad to see that you now know how to use Docs. Isn't that funny? Like that we see things on our computers sometimes like, oh, I don't know what that is. So I'm
Yeah,
so
be
glad that this
strange.
was useful for you. Yeah, this is a really, really good tool that a lot of people don't know that they have access to. So let your friends know. They can also go to the Mission Africa YouTube page and check us out. Share, like, comment, let us know what you think. And we really appreciate you guys participating today and being here. I hope you learned something. Think we did. And I will see you guys at the next class, same time, same location next week, right here. Y'all have a
Thank
good
you.
evening. You're
Thank you very
welcome.
much.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.